Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I'm doing a contest entry. It is for Mr. Boulder. He recently reached 1,000 subs and he's actually at 1.02K right now. He has a really great channel, and in this contest he wants us to do 3 shoutouts and show us our 10, we call them like our desert island discs. You know, the idea is that if you were going to go away and spend a month on a desert island, you know, what albums would you bring to listen to? So I'll be doing that next. But first, well, let me talk about Mr. Boulder first of all. He's a really great channel. He shows a lot of metal on vinyl, so that's what's really great about his channel. I mean, he also has CDs as well. But his videos are very good. He does a lot of rankings. He does collection updates. He does, you know, these like list videos. So I'm looking at his channel right now. So like he did like 5 amazing debut albums. Recently, he did an anniversary review of Countdown to Extinction, and you know, lots of other rankings. So if you haven't subbed to Mr. Boulder, definitely sub to Mr. Boulder. So now let me talk about the 3 channels that I'm going to talk about. The first channel I want to talk about is called On the Flip Side. So he's doing pretty well. He has 527 subscribers, and he's a music review channel, probably similar to mine. He uploads pretty frequently, so maybe I would say 5 or 6 videos a week. And he does new releases just like I do. So for example, a couple of his latest releases are a review of Toxica Dismorta. He did a reaction to the Mars Volta Vigil. He reviewed the latest Amon Amarth, and he does a lot of stuff. He does mostly metal, but then he'll do some, you know, other like genres like alternative and different stuff. So he has a really good style. I mean, he's just very comprehensive. His videos are like maybe like between like 5 and like 8 minutes long, so they are the perfect length. You know, when you don't have a lot of time to watch a video, and he's just like really good at what he does, so that's why I want to give him a shout out. The channel I want to shout out is called Off the Charts. Now, I actually found this channel kind of by accident because I recently uploaded my Faith No More ranking, and I did a search for, you know, Faith No More rankings on other channels, and I wanted to kind of see their opinion of it, and I found his channel this way. So he's a really good channel. He uploads, I would say maybe once or twice a week or so. And his video is pretty good. They're about like 20 to 30 minutes long. He shows a lot of vinyl, and he has really great video topics. So for example, I'm looking at his channel right now. He did a ranking of Ace Frehley. He did a video called Ladies of Rock. He ranked Rush. I mean, he does a lot of rankings and does a lot of like lists, and he's a really good channel. He's very well spoken. I mean, he gets into detail with his videos and his rankings. So if you're like a vinyl community person or just like music in general, check out Off the Charts. He has 192 subscribers, so let's get him up. The other shout out I'm going to do is a channel called Heavy Metal Philosophy. Another one I just found. Now, he has a really good channel, and it's very unique because he does do his album reviews, the new reviews, but he does it like in one video. So every week he'll release a video called Top 5 New Metal Albums of the Week, and then he'll put like the date. So the last one was August 5th. And for example, in this video, the more well-known bands like Amon Amarth and Soulfly, he'll just kind of talk about them briefly in the beginning, but then he goes more into detail about like 5 other underground metal bands. So I do like that about his channel. And the other videos he posts like about like 2 a week. He posts like these longer form videos that kind of talk about just like these just different topics within the metal community. So well, one of his videos that I recently watched was called A Christian Listens to Black Metal, and it's like advice from like a former Satanist. So that was a topic that I was very interested in, and I enjoyed that video. There's some other video topics as well. Like he talked about the Pantera reunion, but you know, that's something that everybody has been talking about, but he kind of like talked about it from the point of view, like, is it moral? So I do like that aspect of his channel. He's at 686 subscribers. I know he recently like celebrated like 666, and he like put a post of that on his page. So pretty cool. And he's a really good guy. He's really well spoken. His videos are really well edited, and he's the kind of guy, he likes to have conversations in his comment section. So definitely give him. Now for the last part of the video, which will be my 10 Desert Island discs. So I'm going to be using all CDs. I think it's going to be easier that way, and I'll just kind of go through them briefly, and I'll show them, tell you why I chose this, and let me get right into it. So the first one is going to be, I have to have some Metallica. I could have went with the obvious Master of Puppets, or I could have went with Ride the Lightning, but I decided to go with And Justice for All. Now, I actually lost the cover to this one, but I picked this because it's one of my favorites, but I think this is one that I don't go back to enough. I mean, this is just, actually this is the first Metallica album that I bought new when it came out. So it came out in 1988. I was just getting into the band. I listened to Master of Puppets, and I wanted to get this. This is actually a newer one because my original CD got lost over the years. And Justice for All. Next, I need some Alice Cooper, and I have Love It to Death. And this is actually the CD I bought when I was a teenager. This is like one of his best albums, along with Killer. But Killer is an album that I listened to like a lot later in life. But this one was very influential. It has the song I'm 18. I was actually 18 when I first listened to the song, so that's why this album always resonates with me. So this one, Love It to Death. Okay, the next one, I guess you could say I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but Scorpions' Best of Rockers and Ballads. Now, why did I choose this one? This is another CD I bought when it came out. This is my old CD from 1989. Again, I replaced the jewel case. A lot of these I don't have anymore, but this is just all of the great songs from their like 70s to early 80s period. So it has the hits. It has some of their like older stuff like The Zoo and Still Loving You. So I really like this album. I listen to this one a lot. So I have that. Now for some Megadeth. Normally when I do these things, I go directly to Rust in Peace, but let me do something a little different, which would be my second favorite Megadeth, which would be a Countdown to Extinction. I recently did an anniversary review of this with the Chill Dude on the Couch. That's on my channel. You can look for that. And I just love this album. This is my number 2 Megadeth album because it's kind of like they took everything they were doing with Rust in Peace, that like technical thrash metal, and they kind of like toned it down a little bit, made it a little more melodic, a little more accessible, and it just made a really great album. Next I'm going to go with kind of like a Dark Horse album, and it's going to be Anthrax with The Sound of White Noise. Now, again, I could have went with something obvious like Among the Living. That's actually my favorite, but I'm going to go with this one just because I've always liked this one. This is my favorite of the John Bush albums, and probably like one of the John Bush albums that I really like a lot more than the other ones. Now this is a really great album because it's kind of like, it's thrash, but they kind of like changed it a little bit. I mean, some people have called it grunge. I wouldn't even call it that. I think that they're more of they just took their thrash sound and they kind of like updated it a little bit, and they created a very unique album. Lots of great songs here, so that's why I chose this one. Next I'm going to go with something that's a little different, and it's going to be Amorphous, and this album is called Magic and Mayhem. Now the thing with this album is it's re-recordings of songs from their first 3 albums. So basically Amorphous, if you're familiar with the newer stuff, they're more like this melodic death metal band, and they're really good. But their older stuff was more of that like death doom. These really like great like heavy riffs. So I definitely love this album, and it's just kind of like the best of their first 3 albums. So best of that like early era. Next I'm going with a recent purchase. This is going to be a System of a Down, and the album is called, I just realized that you can read it right here. It's called Hypnotize, because I always forget which one is which. But anyway, no, is it? Hypnotize, yes. I love this album. I think this is one of my go-tos. Normally I would go for like the first one or Toxicity, but This is, I think this is like, I just bought the CD and this is the one I've been spinning the most out of, like all of them. Because I just like really love this. Just lots of great songs. I love the song Lonely Day. But then like their heavier stuff like Attack and Dreaming. It's just an awesome album. Next, another recent purchase. I need some Pink Floyd. So I went with Animals. Again, I could have went with Dark Side. I could have went with Wish You Were Here. I have those are great albums, but this one is just 5 songs. It's just really great, and they're just like these long songs, and just a nice album if you're on a desert island. You need something like relaxing, just to kind of like wind down at the end of the night before you go to sleep. So this is the perfect album for that. Now next, I need some Iron Maiden. One of the obvious choices could have been a Number of the Beast. So I got like the shirt here, but I'm not choosing that. I'm choosing the last one, Senjutsu. I mean, why? Because this is the one, it's the newest. I've listened to it like the least out of all their albums. And you know what? I still need to spend some more time with this. I liked it. I think some people didn't like it, but I always thought it was a great album. And plus, I'm also kind of cheating because it's a double disc. So I get to take a little bonus disc with me. So that's why I chose Senjutsu. And my last one is going to be, I guess, a different type of choice, but Jethro Tull, the Zella Gene. This one came out this year. I really like it. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it. They say, oh, it's just an Ian Anderson solo album. But I thought it's very good. It just has all these like different songs, and they're kind of like based on like these like Bible stories. And I think this is another one of those, I need like a nice like relaxing album just when I want to just lay down and listen to and kind of get some rest. This would be the album that I would put on. I've been listening to this a lot throughout like these past like 7 or 8 months. So definitely a great album. And that is all. I'm going to end this here. Just put all the channels I recommended. So the 3 that I gave shout outs to and Mr. Boulder, I will put links in my video description. And that is all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.